Stangibelisco here. I have a serious apology to make regarding a request that I just got to appear in a special program on the internet. The ham radio operator who invited me to do this, his name is Eric. He'll know who he is when he sees this video. I had to turn his request down, and one may get a little confused as to why, because I seem so vigorous and I did so many things and went around so many parts of the country in so many of my videos. But all of this was before about April of 2014, I believe, a couple of 3 years ago, when I became very ill and my time became so limited that I could no longer do that kind of running around. I had to sell a vehicle, big number 8, that I used to do it with because I had medical bills to pay. Many things have gradually destroyed my health to the point that now I'm lucky when I can get a few minutes just to make a video like this without getting violently ill. I'm pretty well convinced that what I have, and the doctors have all said they don't know, they can't figure out what it is, but I'm pretty well convinced that because of its growing severity, I'm not long for this world. I don't want you to pity me. This isn't about me. This is about my regrets for having to turn down such a fine offer. One of the greatest compliments that I've ever received in my life. The invitation to appear for a little over an hour on a special program on the internet. I'm unable to do it physically, and there are other practical obstacles that make it simply impossible for me to do it. I wanted to say yes, I honestly did, but I can't because I just do not have the physical endurance. Part of the problem has to do with benzodiazepines, which I've talked about before, but most of the problem is simply that something has gone wrong with my body, and it seems bent on putting me in the ground, or in my case, as ashes in an urn in St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Rochester, Minnesota, next to some of my relatives, such as Mike. And my relatives will know who he is, and other members of the family. I seriously regret having to say this. And it's embarrassing to have to say this. But I want it to be generally known, and I want Eric to see it. And I want all of his colleagues who would have watched that program to see it as well. But I simply, when I do videos, it's only during those short intervals of a few minutes when I know I'm not going to be violently ill. And there have been several times when I have become violently ill during a video and had to abort the video and then do it over later, or just simply abandon it altogether. Things are not good. I'm a good actor. I may act vigorous when I'm on the on this channel, but I am anything but vigorous. I spend almost all of my time in bed, and I've been to the hospital numerous times, several times left against medical advice. They said that I was on the verge of death, but they let me go because I insisted, and I left against medical advice. Many, many things make my life physically very difficult, and I simply do not have the physical capacity to do a good job with an interview such as the one requested of me, even though I consider it, again, as I said, one of the greatest compliments I have ever received in my life. And I thank you, my friend Eric, for thinking of me and requesting that I do an interview such as this. I simply cannot. I simply cannot. I don't know why I'm telling the whole world this, except I want to be sure Eric sees it, and Eric does live in the world. I guess, increasingly do not, and may not for all that much longer. Maybe if you pray for me, God will save me, but I'm starting to doubt that that's going to happen. Poor me, poor me. And poor Eric, because he may not understand fully the problems that I'm having, that only began 2 or 3 years ago and are rapidly progressing towards my demise. Maybe if enough of you pray for me, you can stop it. I don't know what else to say. And I'm embarrassed to make a video like this, but I feel that I must. I owe it to Eric. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. God bless you, and so long.